Hello, my name is Stephen Callahan, and today we have the beautiful Jenny White interviewing moi and the new innovation I've been working on called Jarvis.
Mr. Callahan, can we please do this interview professionally?
The only reason why you got the inside scoop of Project J is because I'm your boyfriend.
Stephen!
Alright. Let's begin this interview. Jargon is a project I've been working on for 2 years. It is an artificial intelligence which is programmed to provide and aid society of their problems.
Okay, guys, it's time to begin the experiment. You can continue this interview later.
No, we could continue this now. Just follow me to the lab. This will be the first encounter Jargon will have with humans. Okay, everybody, we will start this experiment by placing activation chip inside Jargon. Dr. Bailey, make sure you're recording this time.
Wow, we really are going to witness history.
This will be the first robot to help the military be successful. We've also contacted the commander-in-chief, and he can't wait to see our product.
I already told you, Dr. Bailey, we're not letting this tech out for military use. Okay, I will start by placing the activation chip inside.
Oh my god, your stupid robot finally works.
How does jargon work anyways?
Alright, first it must recognize your voice, and only one voice. Activating Jargon by inputting your voice into his brain. Then once that's done, speak and he will listen to anything you do. Jargon, shake Mrs. White's hand.
So you spent millions of dollars just to get a robot servant that shakes hands?
You underestimate my work, Mrs. White. Jargon is currently downloading all of the data information from Rotec database, and soon he will be able to...
Hello, master.
Jargon, walk to my side. And that's how you make it work. It will only recognize one voice and one voice only. I told you, Jargon is very special. It is programmed to learn consistently, and soon we'll have all the knowledge downloaded.
What about his combat protocol?
What about his combat protocol? It will be programmed when I say it's ready.
Why do you forbid your own creation from achieving proper greatness?
Miss Bailey, I will not have this conversation again. Jargon is not ready. I'm your boss and you have to listen to what I say. Now leave the room.
We are lab partners. I helped you program Jargon, so I get as much say as you do.
Leave the room, Miss Bailey. As I was explaining, Jargon has now downloaded all language so Jargon can talk to everyone while helping out the people of the world.
Can I ask, what was that all about?
Susan's been always telling me to use Jargon for the military, but she doesn't understand how dangerous Jargon can really be. I built Jargon to help the world so that it may be a medical helper, someone who has saved lives, not takes them. I understand where she's coming from, but she just wants the money out of this.
How much is jargon's worth?
If we download his warfare protocol, he'd be unstoppable force. The highest bidders are giving an offer of $5 billion, but too much power in someone's hands never goes up right. They will just corrupt my creation and misuse it.
You really have put a lot of work and thought into this.
That's weird. Jargis's eyes are red. I think we should get into the control room, check up on Susan. What did you do, Susan?
I'm showing you the proper power of Jargon, the combat protocol.
No, that's what I told you not to do. I swear, Susan, sometimes you're just selfish and stubborn.
I'm just trying to show you.
Everyone down! No! You killed her! Jenny! Wake up! Wake up!
I'm so sorry, Stephen. I didn't mean for this to happen. Let me bandage you up. Let me help you. I'll treat you. Won't you just have to stay awake? Stay awake, okay? Just stay awake.
Where's Jenny?
It has been 4 days since the incident. Stephen's really weak and is still recovering from his wounds. And as for the rest of the world, Jargon activated the other prototypes and has taken over 35% of the northern hemisphere. The people are fighting back, but we built Jargon to be unstoppable. And Stephen was right. The world was not ready for Jargon. And it's all my fault.
Susan?
You're all right. I'll grab you some water.
I'll get better. Just what happened? Where's Jenny?
Jargon, Jargon killed her at the explosion of Rotec. He continues his path of destruction and is currently fighting the U.S. Army. The rest of the world survivors are either in safe houses or surviving in the rubble. The rest enslaved or killed. I'm so sorry, Stephen. I didn't know it would turn into something like this. I'm so sorry.
I told you, Susan. Jargon is very dangerous. I kept telling you so many times. And now Jenny's dead.
I'm sorry.
Sorry's not enough. I need some rest.
As you just heard, this is what happened 100 years ago, and all the recent data was just found now to help with the investigation of Jargon. We don't know what happened to Dr. Bailey and Mr. Callahan, but we do know is that they were responsible for what happened to our world years ago. As you are listening to this, you can rest assured that Jargon is put away safely, and there will be no more havoc. Hello? Why is this cutting out? Why? Hello? Jargon is awake. What is the theme? Technology can easily be manipulated through the actions of individuals and their motives. How did you communicate that? We communicated that by when the lab assistant was jealous of Stephen and Jenny's relationship. She was also mad at Stephen for not listening to her about how good Jargon can become and how he should live up to his full potential. Dr. Bailey was persuaded by her emotions to rewire Jargon. What idea about society, culture, technology, and our ethics do you explore? The idea that we explored was about how technology can be abused and used for the wrong reasons. Are media and technology used improving individuals and the world? In what ways? In our podcast, Dr. Bailey was motivated by her emotions, and this shows that people can use technology to make them feel better for what they did. In some ways, technology can improve individuals, but not if they're using it to get revenge, because it can result in bad things happening, and also if you do not know the outcome of what you're doing with technology. Also in our podcast, technology was improving the world because Jargon was going to be used for military use and for healthcare, and also to help America if they were to go to war. Are media and technology used limiting or changing how we can think, and what can we imagine? In what ways? Technology is not limiting or changing how we can think, because in our podcast, a machine is being used to help others. But also in our podcast, Stephen was afraid to put the warframe into the machine because he didn't know how Jargon would handle it and how the outcome would be. How do people make decisions? What do they use to help them make those decisions? What are the problems with the sources they choose, and what can go wrong? In our podcast, Dr. Bailey made her decision based on her emotions and because she was mad at Stephen. Dr. Bailey did not think about the impact that rewiring Jargon would have. She did not think about the people around her, and she did not think about talking to someone about her problems. Text-to-text connections. This podcast can relate to all the troubles of the world and the happiness machine. It can relate to all the troubles of the world because a machine named Multivac was used to help stop crime. In the happiness machine, a machine was made to make others happy, but the outcome of the machine was bad. This can relate to our podcast because the end result of Jargon was definitely not good and ended up killing the world. Text-to-world connections. This podcast can relate to trial and error of technology and devices because without trial and error, we wouldn't have as much technology we have now. Hopefully there will not be this big of an error when trying out different technologies, but without trial and error, we wouldn't have what we have now. In our podcast, the scientists clearly had all the equipment, but Dr. Bailey was wrong to put the warframe in Jargon without testing it.